Hi, I'm George Hellman. I want to be your next president. I said that I was more like the majority of Americans, more so than any other candidate or president in previous history. And that's the truth. See, my pants are dirty. I paint, I do everything a handyman does. I used to run a crew and I used to flip houses for a company. And I used to do everything from staging, or all the way from evictions to staging. So I do plumbing, painting, sheetrock, all that kind of thing. I work hard. You can see it on my hands. I know what it's like to struggle in America. I live in the Silicon Valley. It's not cheap here. I'm from California. San Jose is where I've been living since I got out of the military in 2008. I know what it feels like to have the government's hand in your pocket. I know what it's like to have them try to shake you down for the little bit of money that you make. I want to cut costs for everybody. Tax costs. On top of that, I want to do things that no one's going to oppose. I want to unite Americans under one flag, the American flag. Democrat, Republican, Independent, it does not matter. What matters is that we're all Americans. And I want to save the world for that matter, but let's talk about some of the things I want to do. I want to get a summit together, all the greatest minds in the world, and I want to fight cancer. My best friend, he lost both of his parents to cancer. I lost my uncle. I only have one uncle, and he's gone. When I found out he had cancer, he had stage 4 cancer, I went up to see him right away. He took treatment, and he lasted a lot longer than they thought he would. He had pancreatic cancer. I tell you this, I went to see him at the end, and anybody who has anybody that they care about knows what kind of nightmare that is. They know what that does to somebody. And it's unimaginable, and it's not okay. The fact that people are trying to get the president to think about all kinds of other things. We have problems in America. Why are we going to outer space? We're screwing around with Mars. We can't solve cancer here. I want to organize a ton of Walk for the Cure things. Fundraisers. I think that we should be throwing a lot more government money at cancer. That matters to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If you've been lucky enough to not have somebody close to you die of it, then you're a very lucky person. But I can tell you this, when it does affect you or somebody that you love, it's going to matter. And I want to solve that problem. Beyond that, the energy problem. I like this thing called perpetual motion. If you don't know what it is, you should look it up. It's on YouTube all over the place. However, I don't believe that it's been solved yet. My friend believes it has by the U.S. government. He thinks that if you did find it out, they'd send somebody to stop you. I can tell you this. I want to get all the greatest minds together, and NASA needs to be working on this perpetual motion too, because once it's solved, and I believe it can, I'm working on prototype number 5. I'm close. I think that it's the greatest thing ever because it takes no kind of fuel. It doesn't have an exhaust, so it doesn't pollute, and it goes on perpetually, creating free, clean energy. I want to give that energy to Americans. Then we can charge the rest of the world. But nonetheless, we'll be so cheap in that energy that we're going to charge them, they'll have to buy it. Or they're going to want to buy it. And we're going to clean up the planet. I think that these things are something that we should be really working towards. And who in the world is going to try to stop somebody from trying to beat cancer? Let's think about the things that affect us all. Let's work together to get them done. You vote for me for president, and I'm not about problems. I'm not going to create more problems. I'm going to make solutions. I don't want to just save this country. I love America. I want to save the planet. And I know that we can. We just haven't tried hard enough. And we don't have the right people in office to make that kind of change. If you think I'll settle for the government hiding some of these things like a cancer cure or a cure to AIDS or a cure to anything, you're wrong. If I find out that the government has it, it's going to be released. Vote for me for president. I'm like the majority of Americans, and I'll actually get something done. Thanks. Vote for George.